Get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 47 years.
If you missed the Brian Bailey Show, you missed.
Mike Siriano is the new East Carolina strength coach.
Well, here's the thing that I really loved about that run that's special for this program moving forward, and we got to bottle it up, is most running backs were just ran out of bounds there. And Rajay, stepped out on the Pirates plank, so to speak, and he cut back, and he was going to go to win the game. And I mean, that just speaks a lot on the culture and what Coach Blake has done when he took over. Even though I wasn't in the building, I know exactly how he fixed the issues. And from there, they felt loved, and they started to empty their tank on the field for not only the coaching staff, but the community and the fan base as well.
Tune in Mondays at noon for the Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, right here on Pirate Radio.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owners insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
Hunting season is officially open, and a great way to enjoy that postseason hunt celebration is with a Busch Light. As cold and smooth as the mountain stream, Busch Light is that perfect sip after a day spent in the great outdoors. Grab a case today. Celebrate the hunt with Busch Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Busch Light, please drink responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light, St. Louis, Missouri.
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
Warm up with our winter savings at the Beaufort Hotel. Plan your winter escape and save up to 20% off. The premier vacation destination on the Crystal Coast is nestled on 10 acres and overlooks the Rachel Carson Reserve, home to 30 wild horses. Discover why Beaufort was named the best small town for adventure by USA Today when you stay at the Beaufort Hotel, where your Outer Banks adventure begins. Visit BeaufortHotelNC.com or call 252-728-3000.
Pirate Radio is excited to announce that Inky Johnson will be the 2025 Leadership Luncheon Speaker on Monday, March 17th.
Pirate Nation, Inky Johnson here. Can't wait to spend time with you guys, man, on March 16th and 17th. Gonna discuss things around leadership, things around adversity, opposition, change, mental agility, post-traumatic growth, perspective. I can't wait to be with you guys, man. It's gonna be an amazing time. Pirate Nation, don't meet us there. Beat us there. Let's go. Peace.
For Inky Johnson sponsorship information, contact Mark at pirateradio1250.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Eastern Carolina's longest-running sports radio show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show is powered by Greenville Utilities and also brought to you by
Bostic Sugg, Bojangles, Michelob Ultra, East Coast Grading, Greenville Auto World, Greenville Utilities, Papa John's, Pepsi, Taft and Hagler, The Rick House, and Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome into our show, and we've got a great show planned for you. We're going to preview the 34th Annual Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet. We've got some of the who's who of baseball in Eastern North Carolina along with us. Brian Weingart's to my far left. He is the president of the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League. Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having us.
RV, Ronald Vincent, who's won more games than even God, maybe. The all-time winningest coach in any sport in our state's history, which is a really, really huge honor. But he's in every Hall of Fame that I can think of, and we're glad to have you here, RV.
Well, it's good to be here, and thanks for having us.
Ronald Vincent, he's been a part of all of these hot stove banquets. And Howard McCulloch, he's an original member. He's in the Hall of Fame for Scouts, Major League Baseball. Now he's retired and spoiling the grandkids and heading to Miami to see his son at some point as the manager of the Marlins, right, Howard?
No doubt about it, Brian. Thanks for having us. Looking forward to it.
Howard McCulloch joining us. Okay, we're going to preview the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet, and it's coming up for you right after this.
Let me show you what goes on behind the scenes when making a Shaq-a-Roni. We created Shaq-a-Roni my way, an extra large pizza topped with extra cheese and extra pepperoni. It's a simple recipe. We take everything you love, then we build it bigger. Pizza gets bigger when you Shaq-a-Roni.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
Enjoy the warm air, circulating moments after you turn up the heat. Precise control of cooking temperatures. Enough hot water on demand for everyone's shower. The instant glow of warmth when you turn on your fireplace or fire pit. Never having to change a gas tank on your outdoor grill. Experience the affordable luxury of natural gas. Find out more at GUC.com.
Looking for the best craft beers, wine, and mead in Greenville? Visit Tub Thumpers Beverage House at 623 Red Banks Road. They're your one-stop shop for a unique selection of local brews, fine wines, and handcrafted meads. They also have your favorite domestic beers at great prices. Whether you're stocking up for a special occasion or just exploring new flavors, they've got something for every taste. With expert advice and great prices, Tub Thumpers is the place to find the perfect drink for any occasion. Stop by Tub Thumpers Beverage House today, where your next favorite drink is waiting.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Eastern North Carolina's Bourbon Authority is Greenville's premier American-styled restaurant. The Rick House specializes in handcraft dishes, and our bar features the very best in bourbons like Parker's Heritage, Knob Creek, and Jefferson's.
Join the Rick House for date night. One low price for a 4-course meal for two and a bottle of wine on the third Wednesday of every month.
Let the Rick House host your next big event in our 2,000-square-foot banquet hall. It's perfect for wedding rehearsals, graduations, and holiday parties. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road in Greenville.
This is Holt Nailers. Join me for the Holt Nailers Show every week right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
There's local politics, bud.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, providing reliable utility solutions to the Greenville region since 1905. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show. The 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet is set for tomorrow night on the campus at East Carolina at the Murphy Center. It's always a big deal. Lots of award winners. We've got a whole hour to kind of talk about the nominations and kind of give you a preview of what the banquet's all about. Brian Weingart's to my far left, RV right beside me, and then Howard McCulloch to my right. Let's talk about just the banquet as a whole, Brian. Let's talk about your interest in it when you know things were maybe not where they should have been as far as trying to get the thing back together, and you know Dwayne Grooms was the president. He was leaving. What was your interest there to take over as president?
Well, I mean, the guys.
We didn't give him a choice.
That's what I was thinking. He didn't step forward. Everybody else stepped back.
Howard and I didn't give him a choice.
Yeah, and I've got a wife that is really good at organizing and sending out tickets and that kind of thing, and we couldn't do it without her, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
Now, is it you or Ann that write the Facebook synopsises up and that kind of thing?
I usually do all the writing.
Okay, so I got you on this one. So the other day I'm reading. I shouldn't do this. Please don't do this at home. But sometimes if I'm at a stoplight or something, I'll check out Facebook or something to see if anything's going on. So I'm looking through it. I'm reading it, and I see something about. I saw my name pop up, and it said something about he's been. It's hard to have an MC, for the same thing from 1990 till now. And I said, that's a nice compliment. And then it says word is that he really struggled in his early years. And I was like, what? And then the light turned green. I wasn't even ready to go. And then it said, but he was only 10 years old when he started. And I thought that was a great line. I thought Weingart's got me on that one. And the funny thing about that is I was telling the story to Brian Meador, my buddy, and I got to that point, and he goes, what? And I said the rest of the line. He goes, man, he got you on that one, didn't he? I said, yeah, that was a compliment times two, because I tell you, it's hard to believe it was 1990 was the first one in an RV.
Yeah, as long as it's hard to believe it's been 34 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met out at Parker's, and you've been part of it the entire time, and it's just been in the banquet. Every time you leave the banquet, it doesn't matter. You feel really good when you walk out.
Yeah, you do. You feel really good because you've honored some people that deserve to be honored, and it's one of those things. It's a family-type atmosphere, and there's so many different hot stove organizations, and Howard, I know you know more about this than probably any of us, but around the country, even around the state. I know Raleigh has one, or I think they still have theirs, but theirs has alcohol, and it's kind of for an adult-oriented kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Wilson's had one for years. I think they moved theirs to the fall, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Different. Kinston's had one that coincides with the minor league team. I don't think they had one this year, but they've had one in the past. But Big Greenville's kind of a different deal, isn't it?
Yeah, when we started, and Howard, feel free to help me because my memory is that. But when we started, we talked about what Raleigh did and talked about what Wilson did and this, and we decided that we were going to be youth oriented. That Greenville baseball is youth oriented, college on down, and that's where we're going to stay, and we have stayed, and we've made it such a big deal that to make everything positive and recognize, like you said, recognize some people that deserve to be recognized, and keep it local, and keep it young, and we're still doing that.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, Raleigh was kind of the grandfather of all of it.
Yeah.
I saw Mike Caldwell over at Wilson at theirs in November, and I was asking Mike, what about your hot stove? And he said, well, it's done. We had a gentleman over there that passed away, and nobody took the bull by the horns. And, of course, Wilson does a real nice job with theirs. Theirs is really centered around the North Carolina Baseball Museum.
Right,
which
it is.
Fine. And Wayne County has one, and they do a nice job with it. But I think, RV hit it on the head. From the start, ours has been geared to youth and giving back, as much as possibly can.
Do you remember that first meeting when everybody sat around and, toyed with the idea of a hot stove league and you kind of kicked it around?
No doubt. We had Lee Armis from Wilson.
Yeah.
Dick Hot Dogs, man, because Lee was instrumental in Wilson's, and Lee kind of told us that night. He said, now, you got 8 or 10 guys here. He said, but believe me, when the rubber meets the road, there's going to be 4 or 5 people to do everything, and then the other 200 or 300 are going to come to the banquet and enjoy it. It's kind of been the way it's played out. Though we've had a lot of help, help along the way. And of course, we're very fortunate that Brian took the bull by the horns. He and Ann have done a tremendous job of kind of taking us to the next level with emails and Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, voting online. Did you ever think in 1990 we'd be voting for the winners online?
And that I would be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
which is a surprise in itself.
Oh, and it reminds me of my dad, and they quit getting the newspaper in Virginia because it was so expensive, and it really, how newspapers are right now. And now he can't keep up when the games are. So he has to call me and say, hey, what time's the game? What channel is it on? So I'm trying to find him something. But, yeah, it's funny. The older we get, it's hard for me to keep up with some of the technology. And speaking of technology, we are on YouTube live right now. If you have a question or comment on the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League banquet, please feel free to jot something down. And Alec Burleson, by the way, we're going to join him at 12:30. He's the guest speaker coming up tomorrow night. And Brian, we have last couple of years had the guest speaker. There's not as much pressure on the guest speaker now because we kind of take that off of him, which I think is really fair for those guys, because some of the guys in the past, not that they've struggled, but I remember, and you guys can correct me, but Bob Patterson is a great guy, but he was really, really nervous about making that speech that night, and he was almost petrified. And I told him, I said, just think about these guys as family out there. That's what I try to do. I get up in front of them, and I know everybody, because it is like a family. But the way we do it now is we kind of have like an interview type thing. I'll ask a couple of questions, let them answer it, and then we'll open it up for anybody in the audience to ask questions. And I think it worked out well the last couple of years, hasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dwayne Grooms had that idea, and we did that with Mike Schilt a few years ago, and people liked it, and I think it makes it easier for the kids, especially, to ask questions at the end, and the exact words I used to Alec when I described to him what he'd be doing was that it would be an interview and it'll be a piece of cake. You don't have to think. You don't have to prepare anything. Just show up and just give your feelings on whatever the question was.
Yeah, and usually, like I tell Alec, I tell everybody, I'm not smart enough to ask you too complicated a question, but I'm sure he'll have some great comments about Cliff Godwin playing for him and then playing in the majors and his rise through the minor leagues. And I remember, and I'll share it with him when he's back on with us in a few minutes when he's on with us. But I went and saw him play in Durham the year before I think he got called up in the fall that year. But I saw him in Durham. They had an 11 a.m. one of those education games, and I went to do a story on him, and he went 0 for 5. I think that's the only time he went 0 for 5 his entire minor league career. And I was going to stick around and talk to him afterwards. I got the interview before, thank the good Lord. And I thought about, I need to get out of Dodge because he went 0 for 5, and he's not going to like the fact that I'm still here. But what a great, great guy. I think he'll be a great speaker for the banquet coming up. And, and just you get the major league ticket now to DirecTV or your cable, or wherever you can get it from, streaming, and you can watch all these games, and you get a chance to see guys, like Alec Burleson playing for the Cardinals, and like the Guardians with Gavin Williams, and that's just East Carolina. There are all these other guys as well, and I'm sure you'll be able to keep up with the Dodgers last year with Clayton coaching over at first base, and now you'll be able to watch the Marlins on a daily basis.
Oh, no doubt. But I tell you something interesting about Alec. It's kind of stood out, and I've run down over there to the next level a few times, and it's full of kids, swinging away and whatnot. And Alex works out there generally around the middle part of the day, and I understand he really interacts with a lot of the young kids that are coming through there. I know they have little nightly games. And it's nice to see a guy where he's at as a major league player, but also taking the time to interact with young players that kind of look up to him.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I think that he's got that personality, and man, really enjoyed watching him play at East Carolina and covering him. And you always knew, even after a tough loss, he was the one you want to talk to because he's going to give it to you exactly how it went down. We should have won this game. We should have done this, done that. But just a great guy, great ambassador for not only East Carolina baseball but Eastern North Carolina, as you said, playing with the kids at next level and that kind of thing. And just looking forward to that and all the awards and everything. And once again, we're going to go through the awards. And the thing about the awards, you guys can comment now, but each one of the awards is named after somebody who's very, very vitally important to the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League and to baseball in Eastern North Carolina. Right, RV?
Yeah, you're talking. It is great. Look at those names.
Yeah.
You read them out real quick.
Yeah, Phil Joyner, George Williams, Charles Williams.
Look at what these guys have accomplished. Jimmy Grimsley. They were baseball.
Yep.
They were the ones that have passed on. They were baseball in Greenville and Pitt County, and now we've moved on with. It's just a great honor to be part of it. And Brian's doing such a good job getting other people to get involved in it, and it's just been very creative.
I think of Dr. Grimsley twice during the year, once right around the hot stove time, and then the other time I think about him is during the NCHSAA regionals, and now they're in Winston-Salem and all over the state. But it was, he did such a great job for those years at Williams Arena, Mincy's Coliseum, and at J.H. Rose for the girls, and organizing, because the regionals and the state tournament. I know the state. They like the new Final Four format. I like the old way with the regionals. I thought that was because I think teams battled all year long to get to the regionals, and it was just a neat, week of basketball here in Greenville. And Dr. Grimsley did such a great job with that. And never forget that breakfast that morning and hearing the news that he was, hospitalized and struggling. And then, we called off the banquet. I know we called it off that day. I think we held it maybe a week or two later, because we all thought that that's what he would have wanted. I think we all, got that one right. But, really, Dr. Grimsley was he was the hot stove, I think, in a way.
He was.
Yeah.
He got it going and kept it organized and, made things happen.
Yeah.
He was the guy.
Yeah, just a great guy. And there's so many great people. If you read the list, if you go to the banquet, the program in the middle of the program has the original charter membership. And I always like going through and just looking at the names on that list. And we've lost so many of those people through the years. But there's so many just great baseball names when you just kind of glance down and you think about, hey, I hadn't thought about him in a while, but he's big in baseball. He's big in baseball. A lot of sponsors that were so big in all the baseball and everything, that this organization, as you said, it takes 2 or 3 people to do all the real work, but there's a lot behind the scenes, isn't it, Howard, to come through like that?
Oh, no doubt. And it could go back to the early years over there at the Greenville Moose Lodge.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
that was something, wasn't it?
It was the only place we was big enough to accommodate our crowd size. And we had a full membership, about 100 people. I think we started with 4 tickets per person, so that was 400. And that was the only place. We did the best we could, and we moved from there over to Rose, and that worked out fine with the meal in the cafeteria, and then going to the auditorium, and then finally making a move, on campus at East Carolina. And they've been so helpful, in everything that they're trying to get done there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I can remember Phil Joyner, and I know Ronald can, in the early years of doing all the cooking. And
yeah.
But things change, and you got to adjust and move forward.
Yeah, all that cooking was hard on Phil, wasn't it? Yeah. He does a great job with a breakfast that he has for all the hot stovers in the morning of the banquet. Everybody looks forward to that every year, and that's kind of a who's who of baseball as well. That's coming up tomorrow morning at the Phil Joyner Clubhouse. So you're lucky to have an organization that has a clubhouse like that too, aren't you?
Yeah. Nice clubhouse. Yeah.
But that's coming up. But still, you look at just the people that started this thing, and then you think about all the people that have spoken at the banquet. And we talk about this every year. But I'm always interested to hear like who are your favorite speakers? Because man, there have been some great ones. And the one I always talk about is Catfish Hunter when he came, because he didn't have a note written down. He just kind of stood up, looked around the room, and he's told stories about all these people. And I was like, how does he know all these people? But he had great stories to tell about so many people, and just a genuine guy. And I'm thinking, man, a Hall of Famer like that, who's in Greenville, North Carolina, and taking his time to do this, and this just off the cuff, like a stand-up comedian. But he was really good.
And then you go to Chris Bassett last year, and he does such a great job. He lives down around the Washington area.
Yep.
Such a good job. And he was about the last person to leave. Am I right, Brian? He was about
right,
I mean, it was weren't but 4 or 5 people, because everybody that came up to him,
Yep.
he talked to him and signed autographs and stuff, and that's big time.
Oh yeah,
That's
I mean to have somebody come in and take that time and just to be a part of it. But I think once they come in and speak, they're kind of like they're remembered forever. I mean, you guys list them every year in the banquet, and it's really a who's who again. Just so many great individuals. Catfish Hunter spoke in '93. I'm surprised my memory even gets that far back. But 1993, back to the original meeting. I remember somebody saying, we'll have barbecue, we'll have this and that. And for a guest speaker, I think we can find somebody in baseball. And my mom was thinking, man, you better find somebody big time because I don't think people are going to come out just to. You don't even have to have a speaker for this thing. I think you could just have everybody out, have barbecue, give out a couple of awards, and everybody would like to come because it's that time of the year where everybody's getting excited about the spring. It's just around the corner, and I think it's really been a great deal. But you look at Cliff Godwin's on the list, Chad Tracy's on the list, Tommy Eason has spoken. I remember Tommy Eason was talking about the Cubs. I forget what he looked at me. It was an awkward moment at the time, and he kind of looked at me like Cubs, really? But I remember him doing that. Mike Shield, I thought was really good. I sat at the table with him and just picked his brain.
What a good guy he is.
Yeah, I mean, now with the Padres, I guess, and they had a good year, right?
Yeah, he was either second or manager of the year in National League last year.
Yeah, and he had a good couple of runs in St. Louis with the Cardinals, and something dissolved out of that deal. So we kind of all knew that something was going to happen. He would get another shot somewhere, and he did. Greg Biagini, remember Greg? Yeah. Man, he lost him way too early in life. Bob Patterson, as we were talking about, he was in '92. The very first speaker, Bobby Richardson. That's a name.
Well,
baseball.
I don't know how you could. I think for our inaugural start of the hot stove, I mean, he was an easy choice if we could, get him, and we were fortunate enough to do it because, rich history in baseball and just so well thought of throughout the entire country.
Mike Fox was the guest speaker in 2007. Joe West in 2008. Joe West left a memory or two, didn't he?
Yeah, he was so good.
Oh man! Every time you see him, he's got the best story. And some of his stories, and I can only remember pieces of them, but he was on with me on the radio one time, and just went story after story, and his stories were based on the truth. Now, I'm not quite sure how much of it was totally true, but they were all based on the truth. And he just had some great stories, like living down in Greenville where he lived and on his block, and oh man, just some of the people he grew up with, and it's really neat. Pat Watkins spoke in '99. He's going to be one of the speakers coming up at East Carolina on Saturday night with the annual East Carolina banquet. We met with Coach Godwin about that early this morning, so we're getting ready for that, and that's coming up on Saturday night. But he's going to be one of the speakers with that. With Agnos is going to speak as well, Jake Agnos. So that'll be good. Have two speakers, and then some of the ones playing, some of the seniors will actually speak as well. So that's coming up on Saturday. I think that's sold out. This banquet's sold out as well, correct, Brian?
It is.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. A lot of times we have this show, so hey, if you want a ticket, blah blah blah. But it's sold out. And if you know somebody, you might be able to find a ticket to it. But it's a hot ticket. Grady Little spoke in '09. I saw his name, come through there. Roger Williams in 14. I remember him as a speaker. So, later in life, I decided to save these each and every year. I get the speaker to autograph it, and I save it in my desk. And I'm only missing about 4, I think. I think the last 15 or 20 years, I've been really good about getting it signed, saving it. But early on, I know I've got the first one, I think like number 3 and 4. Something like that I'm struggling trying to find. But I think somebody out there's got them all, don't they? You think somebody's got them?
We have just about all of them, but I think there's the albums that we have, the photo albums from the early years were done really well, and so I think most of them are in there.
Okay, good.
Charles Alford took all his pictures and saved all that stuff because he passed 3 or 4 years ago, and he had all this stuff.
Yeah.
He kept everything.
Yeah, we were younger in some of those pictures, RV. Howard.
Why don't you go through the book a little bit, Brian? Just peel through the book a little bit, and you'll see some of the people in there if you get to the back of the book.
What's in the back of the book?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of ads, and then keep on going.
He's got it.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that guy with that mustache. That's pretty good.
How about that?
I appreciate that. Thank you, Brian Weingarten.
And we got Catfish in there, too.
Yeah.
So.
Look at Marvin. Man, I don't remember the mustache.
Yeah. He shaved it off after we won the state championship in '97.
Wow. How about that?
with without any shaving cream or anything. He just hacked it off and blood right.
Man, that is funny. George Williams, man, look at that. Original officers. George Williams, Dr. Grimsley, Howard McCullough. Look at Howard, yeah.
That's just a great picture right
there. That is a great picture right there. Three great men.
How about that guy there in the corner? Hey?
Yeah, I saw that one. Some things never change. All-time MC. Yeah, I had a mustache. Is that from the first one? That may have been, because I don't have much gray hair there.
It was really in one of those early first couple of years.
I'll be darned. There you go. And Boyd Lee, lost him this year. Man, what a great guy. Great guy Boyd Lee was for sure.
Yeah.
Boy,
yeah, did a lot for us all.
A lot for this.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
He sure did. His heart was in it, and in a whole lot of things. Most certainly.
You know what, Brian? We're really. I mean, through the years, I hope you don't feel like we're taking you for granted.
No, I enjoy it. I love it. Hey, it's one of those situations where if I didn't get a call, because it's like Cliff. I'm doing his banquet for the 10th or 11th straight year, and I hadn't heard from him, so I was kind of like, And then he finally called me. He said, "Hey, you still good for the banquet, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I didn't think you were gonna call." But yeah, same type thing here. It's like man, I missed one for the Super Bowl that one year that Channel 9 decided the Panthers were playing in the Super Bowl, and they said, "Hey, we're going to send you. And we're going to send you on Tuesday morning." And I was like, "Man, we got the banquet that night." And I said, "Let me see if I can ask out of it." I hated asking out of it because I think once you commit to something, you ought to stay with it. And I think we've proven that right there with that old picture right there.
Who took your place that time?
I don't even know. I'm not sure if
I can't remember.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I can't remember.
And we had one snowed out years ago, and then we had two between COVID and trying to get reorganized and that kind of thing. So I haven't missed many. So 34, we started in 90. The math doesn't add up exactly like that, but still, it's been a long, long time. It's been a great run, and I think it's going to be something that's going to continue for a long, long time. And I know the people that have been honored in the past enjoy that, and it's just a big night to coming up tomorrow night. All right, we're going to take a commercial break right now. We're going to come back. We're going to join Alec Burleson for a few minutes. He's a guest speaker tomorrow night, plus more, previewing the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove Banquet right after this.
This is a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes. It was all Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley yesterday in the NFC Championship game. You heard the game right here on Pirate Radio with Ian Eagle.
Barkley's got a lane to the 50, to the 45, spin move to the 40. Barkley's still going. Zigzags inside. 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Saquon Barkley.
The Washington Commanders committed 4 turnovers, and the Eagles cruised to a 55-23 win to advance to the Super Bowl. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break. I'm Shirley Rhodes.
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon is delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue electric, plumbing, and air.
Bostic Sugg Furniture's January sale and clearance is happening now. We've made dramatic price reductions on furniture and mattresses store-wide to make room for new styles. Save up to 70% off discontinued items. Don't miss your chance to get beautiful furniture at exceptional values. Plus, 6-month special financing. New year, new mattress, better sleep. Save on our great selection of comfortable mattresses with up to 48 months special financing during the January sale and clearance at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
It's bow time. Bojangles' new chicken rice bowl is built bold from the bottom up, with classic Bojangles flavor packed into every bite. Starting with a base of our signature dirty rice, we pile on even more flavor with Cajun pintos, then your choice of boldly seasoned grilled chicken or our iconic Supremes. Top it off with a sprinkle of cheese, and if you want to add some heat, add a dash of Texas Pete. Head to Bojangles and try the new chicken rice bowl for a limited time. It's bow time.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft, Taft & Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Chronic joint pain is exhausting, and that goes for ENC's football legend and all-time passing leader, David Garrard.
And it's not always just the physical part of it. Sometimes it's the mental part of it. You know something is about to kind of derail your normal day, what it was turning out to be a beautiful day. And you're like, I'm starting to feel some pain or clicking in my knee.
That's why the regenerative treatments of QC Kinetics has been so life-changing for thousands just like David Garrard. Their treatments provide long-term pain relief without surgery or downtime. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. 252-765-PAIN.
Pirate Radio.
It's never like the same stuff you hear every morning or like every afternoon on talk shows.
Your locally owned, locally operated radio station.
There's always new content.
That's the way I like it.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community owned, community powered. Now, back to the show.
We're going.
All right, welcome back to our show as we continue to preview the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet. Brian Weingart to my far left, RV to my left, and Howard McCulloch to my right. And on the phone right now is the guest speaker coming up for the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove Banquet. He is the former East Carolina Pirate, now with the St. Louis Cardinals, Alec Burleson. Alec, how are you on this Monday?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. A lot of folks looking forward to seeing you coming up tomorrow. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, super excited. Obviously, this is my first one, so I'm super excited to get up there and chop it up with you and answer some questions and maybe sign some autographs.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I think the kids really get a kick out of, getting the autographs. And Howard was just sharing some stories of you at next level, kind of, giving some time to the little ones and just kind of sharing some of your experiences and that kind of thing. And really, I'm sure that's something that as a kid, you had people like that doing that for you, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I get my workouts in kind of while they're in school and stuff, but over last week with the snow and stuff they were in and in the next level, and it's always fun to kind of see their faces light up, and then I try and talk to them, make friends with them, and they can be a little shy, but no, it's always awesome to connect with those kids too.
All right, what is Alec Burleson up to these days? I know you're working out a lot, but take us through your schedule. What have you got the rest of this month? When do you report for spring training, that kind of thing?
Yeah, so report, I'll drive down on the 12th of February. That's a little bit before position players report, but I'll get down there and kind of get my feet under me a little bit. Obviously, the weather's probably going to be a little bit different down there than it is here right now, so, get my feet under me a little bit, but no, I'm just I'm kind of in full swing right now. Workouts are kind of shifting to more, movement stuff and good stuff like that. So swinging, taking ground balls, getting out of ECU a lot, just trying to get in the cleats and like I said, get my feet under me. So I'm in full swing right now.
What do the Cardinals look at for you in 2025? Hit 269, 21 homers, 78 RBIs last year, 147 total hits. Where do they see you in the lineup this year?
I guess we'll all have to wait and find out. I think there's a plan in place for sure. I think we've got a good young core coming back that has some experience last year. So, structurally, as far as the lineup goes or the defense goes, I think they have a set plan. It's never really set until you leave spring training. So, because things can happen. But, I'm just super excited to hopefully hit the middle of the lineup and contribute to a lot of wins and, make a deep run in the playoffs.
Do you have a preference as far as position, as far as what position you like playing, that kind of thing?
I would say it's a preference. As long as I'm in the lineup, I don't really care where I play. But if I did have to choose, I'd prefer first base. I know in college that's pretty much all I played. Growing up, that's what I played was first base. with pitching as well, so that was kind of easier on the arm. But I'll go out there in the outfield. I'll DH. I'll play first. Whatever my left-handed arm will allow me to do, I'll go and do it as long as I'm in the lineup. So.
And that's one of the benefits of having a player like you and the versatility that you provide. I mean, that's a real plus for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I take pride in it. I think, going into last season, the focus in the off season was to just make myself more, or I guess you could say, gain more trust from the coaching staff to put me in the outfield. I think that was the focus from my standpoint and the Cardinals standpoint. So, and that just allows me to get in the lineup more. So that was a big focus this year, or going into last year, and obviously going into this offseason, maintain that and do a little bit more first base work. But I definitely take pride in being able to allow them to kind of plug and chug me wherever they want to.
How much do you get a chance to keep up with your fellow Pirate brethren in the majors? I mean, do you get a chance to see any of those guys, Connor? Do you get a chance to see Gavin at all?
Yeah, I mean, we're all on pretty tight schedules. So, I've seen Gavin a couple times. He's came back by here a few times. Norby, haven't seen him haven't seen him this off season, but I think he's still kind of living where he's from. So, we try and get some guys here. I know at Next Level we've got a good group of professional guys that are kind of coming from all over. So it's always good to talk to those professionals and see kind of what their schedules are like.
What's it mean to you when you have Coach Godwin and some of the coaching staff come and see you play?
Yeah, it's awesome. Last year, Coach G came and brought some of his buddies, and they came up to Washington to watch me and Mackenzie. And after one of the games, we went out and had a couple drinks and just hung out and caught up. And it's awesome. He's super grateful for Coach Godwin. He allows me to go back to ECU and do whatever I need. I'm hitting with him this afternoon, so super grateful for him and all the coaching staff there.
You going to be able to make the banquet coming up on Saturday this week?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Good.
I don't know if hopefully I'm not making a speech or anything, but yeah, I'll be there.
There you go. Maybe they'll give you the night off as far as that goes. And we're going to give you the rest of the day off as far as that goes. We're going to catch up with you hopefully tomorrow night on TV at 6:20. We're going to try to get you on. I'll text you later about that. But we certainly appreciate your time. And everybody with the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet certainly looks forward to hearing from you tomorrow night. Thanks so much for your time today. We'll see you tomorrow there, Alec.
All right, thank you for having me. See you tomorrow.
All right, Alec Burleson joining us, and I think you could just tell by the way he handles himself, the way he talks, the way he's already the consummate professional, although he's very young. But you kind of think that he gets it, don't you?
Yeah, it really sounds like it. He knows where he's going. He knows what he's got to do to get there, and he's had a couple years in the show. And look. This guy hit 21 home runs off Major League pitching last year.
Yes, he did.
Not many people can say they've ever done that.
Yeah. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, the vibe we've gotten from the Little Leaguers, because I'm being in charge of Little League, I can kind of have a little bit of a closeness with what's going on there. They're really excited to have him as a speaker. And then a lot of people, I think, came in and asked for tickets to the banquet who haven't been before just because Alec Burleson's going to be there.
Yeah. That's good to hear. What about you, Howard?
Well, I think Brian, if you look at the path of a Connor Norby or Alec Burleson or even a Gavin Williams, I think it's a tribute to the job that Cliff does in East Carolina. I mean, Burleson came out of high school, a two-way player. Probably wasn't one of the more so-called sought-after players.
Right.
Norby was the same way. Gavin. Had a big arm and fought through some injuries. But I just think it's a tribute to the type of people that fit for Cliff. And the type of human beings. And does such a great job, he and his staff, with, developing players and bringing them along. Because as I told Clayton many years ago, I said, if people and players don't really care what you know until they know that you care.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said indeed. All right, let's take a commercial break right now. We'll come back, talk more about the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet. This is the Brian Bailey Show, and we're back after this.
This is Dr. Christopher McDowell from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's time for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For experience and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
IMAX is here with mind-blowing images and earth-shattering sound. Come experience the first IMAX theater in Eastern North Carolina, only at Golden Ticket Cinemas in Greenville. Crystal clear IMAX laser projection and precision sound come together to provide the ultimate movie experience. And as always, Golden Ticket Cinemas has unlimited popcorn and the best selection of concessions around. Book your tickets at gtcinemas.com and come experience the best in cinematic quality. IMAX, only at Golden Ticket Cinemas.
UBE and PirateWare.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in downtown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWare.com. Go Pirates!
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have E-Z-Go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Pirate Radio.
You must be a pirate for the Pirates Code to apply, and you're not. And thirdly, the code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities. Community-owned utilities mean local control, low rates, and high reliability. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show, previewing the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet set for tomorrow night at the Murphy Center on campus at East Carolina. Always a big deal. Alec Burleson, we just had him on. He's the guest speaker coming up tomorrow night. And the big event with the dinner and everything, the big deal are the awards that are handed out. Let's go through some of the nominations, and the awards will be officially announced tomorrow night. The Outstanding Contributor Award is named after Phil Joyner, who's done so much through the years for the banquet, cooked for so many years. But the Phil Joyner Outstanding Contributor Award, who's up for that?
Anne-Marie Rogers and Dwayne Grooms.
Yeah.
Yep. So they were voted upon by the members.
If Grooms doesn't live in the state, is he still eligible?
Well, he's in Wilmington right now.
That's right. He is. I forgot he came back. He's in Wilmington now. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought he'd gone to South Carolina for a while, and then he came back here, and he went back to Wilmington. That's right. It wasn't.
He'll be back here before too long.
Yeah. That's what he says. Will he be at the banquet? I'm sure if he can.
He texted us last night, and he's had some issues with his vision a little bit, and is a little bit nervous about driving up, and so he's going to miss the banquet.
Well,
unfortunately,
maybe we can stream it for him or something. But
we do plan on streaming it.
Good.
Yeah,
so the banquet will be streamed. Good. So that's the outstanding.
Well,
contributor.
we plan on streaming it.
Yes.
Our technological abilities, who knows?
That's come a long way too, with Little League games and everything else, streaming and stuff.
I'm not going to be able to fix it. I promise you.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me.
Man, it's what's funny about that is I have Blink cameras at my house, and I love them because they're easy to set up. I figured out how to use them, and Bella uses them all the time, and she'll keep up. She'll keep up. We got a dog camera now. We put a camera in the room with the dog, and she can check on the dog, and she does it all the time. But there's some technology I have no clue on. But that technology is not too bad.
Any technology, I have no clue.
All right, the Outstanding Contributor Award is named after George Williams. Talk about the nominations there.
You're talking about the corporate?
Yes.
Yeah, corporate contributor. That's that was Champions Health and Fitness, and Tiebreakers were the people we had up for that award.
Okay. All right. Good friend Bram Anderson, big sponsor right here from Tiebreakers. So that'll be coming up tomorrow night. The Charles Williams Volunteer Coach of the Year Award's always a big deal because you have so many coaches that volunteer all of their time. Little League, Babe Ruth, you name it. It's all about time. People say they donate money and do all this stuff, but the most important thing you can donate is your time.
Yeah, I mean, we could have 10 volunteer coaches of the year
every year,
but we had 3 that were nominated and voted upon. They were Gene Briggs and Brack Massey and Jeremy Willett were the 3 that were up for the Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, and that's always a big deal. And our good friend Ramey Steins, who's no longer with us, honored a couple of years ago, and you can go through again the list in the program. The program is really valuable. I'm telling you, get that thing, and you learn a history of the hot stove, and you want to know the who's who as far as what everybody's done, all the scholarship, and we're going to mention that coming up in just a few minutes too. But just all the award winners through the years, and all the the amateur player, the volunteer coach of the year. Those coaches, I mean, they go way back through all the years and all the different ones, but there's some great ones on there. You look at Joe Blick's on that list. Love from Joe Blick. Grant Jarman's one of the first ones. Roy Burbert was the very first winner of the Volunteer Coach of the Year. Clay Medlin's on that list. Just a lot of names that we know a whole lot about, but the Volunteer Coach of the Year from Charles C. Williams. Jimmy Grimsley, Amateur Player of the Year, and that's another one. When you look at the list of just the great players that have won that award through the years, and that means a lot to you. A lot of Rosehill Rampants on that list.
Yeah, a lot of good players.
Yeah. For sure. Who do we have this week, this year?
The nominees were Matthew Mateus and Dixon Williams and Alex Boucher were the 3 nominees for the award.
And 3 outstanding players if you keep up with them. I mean there's not a loser in that group. I mean, those are 3 really good. Nice to see Boucher, who was at Old Dominion, now back with East Carolina after his career at South Central, and expecting a lot of big things from everybody else again this year, but that's a good list right there for the Amateur Player of the Year. And the scholarships, Howard, you wanted to mention some of that, but that's very important for the organization too, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we had in the past 2 or 3 scholarships, and then one of our meetings this year, Brian brought up a good point. So, what about if we could, and money. You hate to say it, but it always kind of comes down to that a little bit. If we could get a senior player from every one of our high schools in Pitt County that play baseball, and get us offer a scholarship to them. And we had some people step forward, and Brian can take that a little bit further, but I think we're giving out 6 or 7 scholarships this year. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yeah, we're giving out to the 6 public schools in Pitt County, and then we reached out to the private schools that we knew of, and we heard back from one of them, and that's JP2. And so the 6 public schools in JP2 will all have a recipient of a $500 scholarship tomorrow night.
Very nice. Is that named after anybody yet, or is that something?
Some of the scholarships, the South Central and the Rose scholarships are, and I'd have to look to see. I think we named one of them's Dr. Grimsley.
I think Dr. Grimsley was going with Rose.
And I think Coach George Williams was going South Central. Right. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And so, but I mean, the scholarships are all identical, but we wanted to keep up the tradition of naming the George Williams and the Jimmy Grimsley scholarships after a particular or for a particular school.
And those scholarships mean a lot. It costs a lot of money these days to do anything as far as college goes, but still every little bit helps, and that means a lot to these players.
Yeah, we had some people that just stepped up and were able to fund these scholarships for us, and with the Hot Stove League helping out as well. And we're really proud to be able to have each county school represented. I mean, that's a big deal because we are the Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League, and we really want to get involvement through all parts of our county.
Also going to honor some ladies coming up at the banquet, right?
Yeah, that's something that was brought up last year. Somebody asked me about that, and about possibly getting softball a little bit involved with the Hot Stove League, because we've always just been a baseball organization, and we talked with our membership about it back when we first met in November. And everybody was really open about it, and so we thought, well, a good thing to do, obviously, this year would be to reach out to the Little League Softball World Series champions from the Pitt County Girls Softball Little League, and they will have they'll have close to 30 people there,
good,
representing their group, and they're all going to get a little gift from the Hot Stove League, and we're excited to have them there this year.
I tell you guys do a great job. I know you've organized the thing, but trying to bring that thing to Greenville, North Carolina on ESPN, and then what you guys had to go through this past year, I guess you can kind of laugh about it now. It wasn't funny at the time because the weather was so bad, and trying to get everything moved over, and I know it had to be just a total nightmare. But if you weren't on the inside, it kind of came off pretty smoothly, I think, didn't it?
I mean, J.J. McLam,
he did a great job with that.
And those guys over at East Carolina, I mean, hats off to them. I mean, because they.
Well, I think they also realize how important it is for Greenville, and that if they could do their part, and that's it's great facilities they have.
Yeah, and we have the professional games over there already,
right.
And so that because they're set up a little more for the professional type player than we are at Elm Street Park, but. So we sort of had something going on with East Carolina already, but they were so open and so agreeable to letting us do what we needed to do to get that World Series done the way it needed to be done, and so eternal thanks to them for that.
It was something else that you were able to pull that thing off with the weather the way it was, and that's Eastern North Carolina. You don't know what the weather's going to do, and if you don't like it, just wait 15 minutes and it'll change, and you'll get something different. You also, Brian, have a big celebration coming up, the 75th season in Greenville. That celebration's coming 3 weeks?
That's on February 16th. So it's just under 3 weeks from now. Yeah, and so we've brought in some people that to kind of represent each decade of the Greenville Little League, starting in the 50s, and we have one of our most famous alumni, Scott Rogers.
There you go. Scooter comes back.
Yeah, he'll be back, and he's going to interview them all, and he's already done some legwork on that to get those people kind of prepared for their interviews. And we're the best thing about that, though, I think, is just going to be hopefully we can see a lot of people that are a part of our past is Greenville Little League, and so that's a big deal to us because I remember when we did our 50th season celebration back in 2000, how neat that was. But we're trying to just take it up another level this year and just kind of separate it from the game aspect, because we had our ceremony before our opening game back in 2000, and this year we just kind of want to really dive into our history and kind of let people know what a special organization it's been for many, many years.
I know people that can't remember what high school they went to, but they know who they played for in Little League, don't they?
I still do. Yeah. And most of my teammates.
Yeah. And Marvin could tell you just about anybody who played for anybody, couldn't he?
He could, really could.
Yeah, we'll miss Marvin this year at the banquet, most certainly. I think he was hospitalized this time last year, wasn't he?
Right.
Yeah, so we got to figure out something to name after him for sure. There's got to be something on there. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll come back, and then we'll wrap up this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. Getting you set for the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet. Back to wrap it up after this.
At a theme park, you might have to choose between a great deal or the best experience.
Wow, total access is expensive.
But with U.S. Cellular Prepaid, getting a great deal doesn't mean sacrificing a great experience. U.S. Cellular has no hidden fees or gimmicks, and now you can get a Samsung Galaxy A16 5G for free. U.S. Cellular Prepaid. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
Where do you find the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Eastern North Carolina? It's DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com is a combination of 4 dealerships in Eastern North Carolina with a fully stocked inventory of over 200 SUVs, trucks, and cars. If you're looking to upgrade your vehicle or purchase for a new driver in the house, get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 47 years.
This is Holt Nailers for my friends at Anson Belts, the belts that I wear. Go to AnsonBelt.com to find micro-adjustable holeless belts with over 30 plus options of a 1/4 inch apart instead of your typical 5 holes 1 inch apart, always giving you the perfect fit every time. If your waist fluctuates, Anson Belt is great because you can always find the perfect fit any time of the year. AnsonBelt.com, over 10,000 combinations to choose from, a belt for every occasion, and the official belt of the Holt Nailers Show.
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple-authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
Here at the Holistic Company, we know that life throws you its fair share of curveballs, like passing that drug test. Congrats. Now you can finally relax, kick back, and, well, light one up. You've earned it. And whether you've had one of those weeks, or maybe your mother-in-law's in town and you're one passive-aggressive comment away from needing a vacation. If this sounds like you, then come visit our team here at the Holistic Company to help you find the perfect products to ease your stress and promote relaxation. Order our products online at theholisticco.com or visit us at 5th and Evans in Greenville or at one of our other 2 locations in Fremont or Smithfield. The Holistic Company.
This is Ryan McChrystal, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, working for our community, not for shareholders. Now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back to our show as we wrap things up on this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. Coming up next week, Austin Knight, pitching coach at East Carolina, will join us as we get closer and closer to opening day. How fitting is it that opening day for Pirate baseball is on Valentine's Day? What a great place to take your date. Melissa wasn't all that thrilled when I came up with that. She goes, "You're a little too enthusiastic about that," but I think it's just great, right? The only thing better would be a Rose High baseball game for RV, right?
It depends on the temperature.
Yes, exactly. That's right. She's not going out in the cold, I can tell you that. All right, the big news also for the Hot Stove League is you have a corporate sponsor this year, and that's big.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that. RV and Howard and I met at breakfast back in, I think, November or December, and we talked about, that may be something we could potentially do. I think they'd done something like that in Wilson with the golf course, was the sponsor of their tickets and so on and so forth. So Bright Star Care, Blake and Amy Easton stepped up, and they offered to be our sponsor for this, and we're really thrilled to have them do this for us, and it's really, I think it's a good thing for our organization.
Couple of days coming up, tryouts for Little League. When does that start?
Oh, March 5th.
Opening day, Greenville Little League.
Ooh, April 4th.
All right.
First
practice.
Kiwanis.
February 12th.
February 12th, first practice for high school baseball. First game for the Rampants.
25th of February.
February 25th. Who you got?
Hoggard.
Who's pitching?
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be good. All right, and when are we heading to Miami, Howard McCulley?
We are heading to Miami for the start of spring training. I think even I plan to go around the 16th or 17th of February for a couple of weeks.
That's got to be just the thrill of a lifetime. Your son Clayton getting ready as his first managerial job, and we're all so very proud of him. He's always remembered where he came from, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, and I think that's the one thing that his mother and I probably are the most proud of.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. All right, that's going to close it out. I want to thank Brian Weingarts for joining us today, Ronald Vincent, and Howard McCullough as we preview the 34th Pitt Greenville Hot Stove League Banquet. As we said, Austin Knight joins us next week. That's our show for this Monday. We'll see you back here next week on the